Welcome to Try By Podcast, a podcast featuring a bunch of super nerds who are talking about A Song of Ice and Fire and then occasionally Game of Thrones. I am Philip, and I admin on the Facebook page Donald Noy. Guys who are here, introduce yourselves.
I'm Danzy from Danzy Reviews, the YouTube channel, and I think that the term super nerd is offensive. I'm a mega nerd.
I am Bartek, and I do not call myself a nerd. I usually call myself a geek. You may know me as Lord Oris. I am the Lord of the Stormlands and Hand of the King. Kraken?
Yeah, fuck, I was thinking of Malcolm. I am Phil McCracken, Lord Phil. I'm on Shit Alex Graves Says, Meg the Mighty, some other pages. And right now I'm in some pretty high spirits, so not even Benioff and Weiss can really screw with my mood. So if you came here to watch me ranting, well, you are a fucking idiot, because I'm not going to be too pissed today.
Okay, I'm Tim, I admin on Dolnoy, and I'm offended by the fact that someone is offended by the word super nerd.
And lastly, our guest.
I'm Matt. I am some dude who writes rants and shit on Facebook, and apparently that makes me important enough to be here. But you might know me from Daenerys Targaryen is overrated, Stannis Baratheon, the first of his name, and you're less likely to know me from my Darkstar page. So, yeah, that's me.
All right, that ties in quite nicely into what we are talking about today, which is all the announcements about Season 5, thanks to Comic-Con.
Great.
And that whole hour of actually quite entertaining banter between the cast members and then the occasional input from D&D, which brought the tone of the whole thing down quite considerably. Right, start off with the...
discuss fan fiction?
We'll discuss fan fiction someday, but not today.
This is fan fiction.
Well, the show is... Okay, we'll discuss non-authorized fan fiction at some point, but not today.
What George said during the Comic-Con is that the show and the books are separate. He kept saying it, the books and the show are separate. Don't treat them like the same thing. They are separate. They are not related. He was close to saying that.
Wow.
Yes. So, but the show is authorized by George because he signed a contract when he thought it was a good idea.
See?
So, casting announcements. I'm going to talk over you until you shut up.
Okay.
We have casting announcements for the High Sparrow, Doran Martell, Abara Sand, Nymeria Sand, Tyne Sand, Trystane Martell, Myrcella has been recast, Aryo Hotah, and Yezin.
Should we
Go through one by one. We'll start with the High Sparrow with Jonathan Pryce.
I like him, he's good.
Yeah, he was in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was good.
The governor.
Who did he play?
The governor of
Elizabeth's dad.
Yeah. It's been a while since I watched the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but I think if I remember right, he has a good disposition for a role like that.
Yeah.
I could see him,
also,
being.
Hang on.
He's also in. He also plays the villain in Tomorrow Never Dies, James Bond film.
That was one of the Pierce Brosnan ones, right?
Yep.
That's why I don't remember it. But
Do you remember George Lazenby? I didn't.
yeah, no, I remember his name. That's about it.
Yeah, back to the topic, guys.
What else has he been in? I'm just
Those
scrolling
are the only two things.
Pirates of the Caribbean is what you're gonna know him from.
I'm
Yeah.
scrolling through his IMDb. There's nothing here else.
Oh. He was good there.
So he's High Sparrow. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go through each person and we're going to talk about what they're going to do in Season 5, because that's going to stretch this out for a very long time, and I feel like doing that.
I can't wait to see him play off against Cersei, like Jonathan Bryce and Lena Headey. I think that'd be, quite an interesting pair.
Yeah, that'll be good to see how they play off that.
And I think we'll get the Walk of Shame in Season 5 as well. So.
Wasn't there's some question about that because Lena Headey might have a no nudity thing going or something? That wasn't. I'm just saying what I've heard. I don't know for sure.
I remember Lena Headey actually said something about she knows about the scene and she said something like she's not against doing it or something.
I mean, I hope they show it just because it's such a pivotal moment in the series. So, but we'll see.
Well, Lena is one.
Jonathan Pryce was also in the first Sherlock Holmes movie that Guy Ritchie made.
Oh, that.
And, yeah, and the G.I. Joe movies, which I laughed at a little bit. So.
Yeah, we don't really talk about them.
Yeah.
Back topic.
So what is the High? So the High Sparrow is going to basically militarize a bunch of priests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna. How are they gonna play that whole thing out with Cersei? Because like they don't have the Kettleblacks or Lancel in the show. Well, no, sorry, they did have Lancel, but they haven't.
Lancel's on the show. He just hasn't been on it in forever.
Yeah, he hasn't been in season 2, and they didn't bring up Cersei's infidelity again.
That's a whole nother question in and of itself. Well, right there is how what's going to really be the break for Jaime on the show.
I suspect they're going to bring it down to the incest thing with Jaime.
Yeah, they're going to have to because they can't.
Possibly, but
unless they chisel in like the Kettleblacks or.
Well, the accusations against Jaime in the book, against Cersei in the book, isn't because of the incest. It's because of her infidelity with the Kettleblacks.
Well, yes, but D&D is obviously not going to keep true with the books, is it?
Fuck D&D.
And also, the way they changed it, that they did have sex in the White Tower. So
yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah, that was I was this close to punching something when that came on. Yeah, that sucked.
Miss me.
I just found a article from that has an interview with Lena Headey, and she doesn't want to bear flesh until Cersei has to. And it's not about Cersei being seductive or sexy. She'll be stripped. The kind of scene that kind of scene will have more power if it's not an everyday occurrence. Basically, So
basically, she will get naked for that scene because it actually serves a dramatic purpose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I respect her for that. I not gonna lie. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Doran Martell. Unless you have anything else to say about the High Sparrow.
No.
He looks good.
That's pretty much it.
He looks
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Alexander Siddig as Doran Martell.
Alexander Siddig has been in.
He's on Da Vinci's. He's on Da Vinci's Demons. You guys watch that show?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, he plays. He plays basically like this character is just called the Turk. So, and he's like a part of a. He's part of this kind of supernatural conspiracy thing that's going on in it. But he's good on that show, is the point. And then when I saw that he was playing Doran, I'm like, he's got the right type of look for it. I'd also seen him in like Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah.
Sure, a lot of you guys have seen that movie.
He was in.
He's in Reign of Fire as well.
He was in Reign of Fire. You mean Reign of Fire with Matthew McConaughey and Christian Bale?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was in that. I love that movie. I don't remember him in it though.
He played AJ. I have no idea who that was because I haven't seen the film.
Yeah, it was probably a small role. I don't remember it, but
He was in
that movie.
Titans.
That movie is one of my favorite ones to just sit back and have a couple beers to. Reign of Fire.
It's fun. He was
I'm not really familiar with his acting per se, but yeah, he looks the part, and from the casting video, he kind of. I suppose I could imagine him as being Doran Martell.
Yeah, he's a good actor. I think if there was one thing I was really, and I wasn't happy with a lot of the shit that came out from the casting announcements, but if there was one thing I was really happy with, it was this part of it. I think he will be a really good Doran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks really good.
And I think he looks a bit young, maybe. Like I've always thought Doran would be much older.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's not the first. It's not even close to the biggest deviation they've had in that regard.
They're going to
I think as long as he looks older than Pedro Pascal, which he does, then I think it works. So
yeah.
I've always imagined Doran. This is weird, but I've always imagined the actor John Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've always imagined Doran Martell to be a really tanned John Hurt for some reason.
I could kind of see that. I see where you're going for with that.
Like just because of John Hurt's kind of personality and the kind of role he acts, when I read Doran Martell, it shouted to me John Hurt for some reason.
It's that kind of reserved kind of demeanor that John Hurt really does a lot.
But he doesn't have the right ethnicity or anything.
No.
So,
Well,
And again, neither does the actor who's playing Tristan, questionably, but we'll talk about that later.
And,
Okay.
I'm
we can
pretty-
talk about that next.
we could do the Sand Snakes.
Well, actually,
I'm
I was
pretty
gonna
sure-
say the last good casting that I kind of liked was Myrcella. I think
You
she looks
like
good.
The new Myrcella?
I do, yeah. I think she looks fine.
What was
I
it?
don't think she looks bad. It's just, why did they need to recast her? I
Because
don't
they
get
recasted Tommen, and otherwise Tommen would look way older than Myrcella.
Well, no, Myrcella's older. Last actor is actually 1 year older than the new one.
Is he? Oh, she looked a lot younger.
Yep.
No, she's.
I think she looks her age, and she's gotten older since she was last on the show.
She's
So-
16, and the new actor is 15.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they needed an actor that could handle her kind of beefed up role in the new season, though, because Myrcella, beforehand, was just kind of a bit part, right?
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't really a
no,
lot of
like-
acting skills required, so who knows?
She
It's
still
like-
doesn't do that much in A Feast
Eh.
for Crows. It's Dark Star.
They're going to expand Myrcella's role
Jesus.
on the show, and,
No.
and with the Tristan, I suspect it's because Benioff and Weiss are like borderline pedophiles and like get off on this type of thing. But they're trying to play up that romance, so I don't know if they wanted an older actor to make that seem more acceptable.
But
But
it's
it's
not
funny
an
that
older
the
actor.
actors, yeah, that's the funny part. The actor isn't even older. So D&D logic, what are you gonna do?
Well, the thing is, like, they didn't. I'm not sure they even tested if the original actor was well enough acted for the part, because she actually seemed to think that she was coming back.
Yeah, she posted something on her Vine or whatever, watch out, Tom.
after Joffrey's
Yeah.
death, saying I'm ready
Yeah.
with a crown on her head, and so she thought she was coming back, and I suppose she didn't even.
I
get a
remember
phone
seeing
call or
that.
anything.
That sucks. That's harsh.
That was a dick move. If I were her, I'd be pissed off right now. I'm sure she is.
Well, yeah, she removed the fact that because on her Twitter she used to have on her bio saying that she was Myrcella in Game of Thrones. She's deleted that now, and she hasn't actually posted as frequently since the casting announcement.
Yeah,
Pretty
she's
sad.
probably pissed at D&D right now. I just say join
Like
the
the rest
club.
of us.
Join the fandom? Because
Join my
Yeah.
page.
Does anybody in the fandom actually like D&D? I don't know.
I
Well,
don't.
the show watchers do, and there are a lot of show
Just don't
apologists
know
as
who
well.
D&D are. That's the problem.
Yeah. There is.
Directors or something like the directors. I love the directors.
They don't even actually direct most of the
Yeah,
episodes.
I mean, they
Right.
showrunners.
And they're fucking horrible writers, but they write. So
Oh, the only I've seen an apologist on The Wolves Will Come Again, did the argument imagine if it had been given to Michael Bay or something like that
Oh.
argument.
It would've
No,
been-
I
yeah.
posted that as a joke.
Before
Graves
Yeah, I
says.
remember that.
yeah, it's
Before-
imagine it had been given to Michael Bay, but then imagine if it had been given to
Just
somebody
Brian
better
Cogman.
than-
Just give it to
Brian
Brian Cogman.
or
Just-
or even going from another show, Bruno Heller or Vince Gilligan. I think they could have done a much better job with the show than D&D have.
Imagine if it had been given to Phil McCracken.
Oh God, what kind of abomination would have been made then?
Let me tell you, if I was running the show, actually, I'll get back to this. Let's just go back.
Back on topic. The Sand Snakes have been cast. I'm just going to do more than one because their actresses are not exactly well known. Kesha Castle Hughes was in Star Wars Episode 3 as the Queen of Naboo. She looked right as a
she
Barasan.
didn't really act. She was
She
just
she
there.
has she has the right look for the role. I give her that. As far as acting, I don't know, because that's such a bit part in one of the really bad Star Wars movies. So I don't know. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith was the best of the prequels, though. You know.
Yeah, it was still a prequel though. That was the problem.
Let's not get into Star Wars
We're not
discussion.
going to get into Star Wars debate.
I could talk about Star Wars. I could join a whole separate podcast for Star Wars. So yeah, let's get
There'll be a time where we stop having. We'll move on to things other than A Song of Ice and Fire, probably past about episode 20, and then we'll probably go on to have an episode on Star Wars. Don't worry.
Call me back for that one. I'll come back to that. Trust me.
Nymeria Sand, Jess Hemwick. Again, fairly unknown. She was in something.
She has the same surname as my French teacher from 5 years ago.
Jessica Henwick.
Maybe it's her, but she changed her first name.
Dude, that one was. Is she like Asian or something?
She looks Asian, yeah.
That was odd for me. Wasn't Obara supposed to be part Summer Islander, if I remember right?
Yeah, I
Something
imagine.
Yeah.
She's in- yeah,
I was
she's
almost
up in-
expecting them to cast like a more black actress for that in that case, but I guess
They
I
cast
was.
a black actor for Aryo Hotah, and he's.
Yeah, they did.
I was
Which
hoping it'd be
I'm gonna-
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
I was hoping it'd be what's that guy's name from Spartacus, the huge black
I-
guy.
Don't watch Spartacus, so I don't know.
He was also in 300.
I'm just gonna look at the Spartacus.
Blackwood's Gaius.
Blood and Sand. Where's the black guy? Or where's a black guy on this list?
Peter Mensa is his name. That guy.
I've heard of him. Not sure where from.
Yeah, that was who I kind of was thinking when they said that they wanted to cast a black actor as Aryo Hotah, who I was thinking could be good in the role, but they gave it to this guy who I've never heard of, so I don't really have an opinion on him one way or the other. But
I don't think it'll matter too much.
yeah, nah.
And they're
I was
just probably
thinking
just
of
like
Zelda.
but
It just would have been good, yeah.
he's like Hotah doesn't really. You don't really need the most amazing actor for Hotah, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, you need the presence and the kind of the size.
Just
More
like
You just need someone intimidating, is all.
Which is Idris Elba done well, because Hotah is quite similar to Heimdall from 4, so, you know, Idris Elba's kind of a good choice.
Idris Elba could have been good, but he's such a big name now. That's why I felt like.
Well, Heimdall doesn't do a lot.
Yeah. And the last one was Tyne Sand. I can't bother to try and pronounce her name.
I'm looking
Yeah, why has she got 2 daggers?
And why? Oh, yeah. I don't get that. My weapon's supposed to be poison, not daggers. It's like, what the fuck?
Poison daggers?
Oh, God.
Maybe? She's,
Well-
Valera.
One of these
Come on.
pictures, she's got blue hair. That just makes me think of Wyla Manderly. Yeah.
I think they're just screaming the characters of the Sun Snakes because it's D&D, and they're gonna make them all like warrior princesses instead of making one of them a seductive daughter of a Sept, another one.
I think they'll all be gay.
But yeah, what they're doing.
They're gonna be lesbian too, and they're gonna be incest. And they're all going to like go to Valhalla, and they're going to be just.
I don't think they'll be incestuous, but knowing how the show's taken scenes like that before, they probably will have some same-sex sex scenes for sure.
Then the others being so.
Yeah, everybody in Doran is like completely over-sexualized ridiculously, so I imagine all these characters will be. Yeah, I see the whole Sand Snake thing as just like they're posthumously trying to cash in on Oberyn by making the Sand Snakes a bigger. Because I don't remember, quite frankly, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe it's just because I didn't particularly enjoy those characters, but I didn't think they were that big of a deal in the books. Is anyone going to yell at me for saying that?
I didn't.
They get hyped up so much, though, for what?
They get hyped up because the Oberyn's like children.
They're cool
Wait.
characters, but they're very much still minor characters.
I think they'll
Arya
have a,
and Quentin have much bigger roles.
I just got to
think
get
Sans-
this out there.
yeah.
Which Sand Snake is going to King's Landing again?
Two of them, Nymeria and Tyne. Is it
Wait,
Tyne?
that's a show only thing, right? No Sand
No.
Snake went to King's Landing, is it?
They're-
No,
they're on
in
the way.
books They're going there.
Oh, yeah.
And
They see Robert Strong.
Sorella is going to. Sorry, Sorella is in Uptown.
she's Alaris there,
Yep.
the Sphinx. Yeah, that's what they say anyway. But
It's not confirmed, but they given
Yeah.
it's the name backwards. That seems like a fairly.
yeah, I
Because
think
she
I
looks
wouldn't be
Spanish
surprised.
as well. And they make the point about the widow's peak that she has, which Oberyn has as well. So
Mm.
Mm.
And then there's 4 other ones, the little girls. Sorry,
yeah, they're not important.
They're not important.
Yeah, no, definitely not. If they cast them instead of Ariane, that would have just been like, what the hell?
Well, they cast Aryo Hotah instead of Ariam.
Last casting is Enzo Silenti as Yesen.
Who gives a
is-
shit about Yezin?
I don't give a shit about Yezin, but I will say
Danny's
oh,
plotline because Zaro's dead.
Tyrion's plotline as well.
I
Yeah,
actually
from
had to look
Tyrion's
up
plotline.
who Yezin was after I saw the casting video. I'm like, who's Yezin?
Yeah, he's
Isn't
the
he
one who
He's
has.
I
he's
will
the one
say,
Tyrion works for, or slaves.
as much as no one gives a shit about the character, does anybody watch Rome?
No.
No.
Yes.
Rome in Rome, Enzo Silenti played the guy who was the father of Lucius Vorenus, one of the main characters, not supposed grandson, who was actually his wife's son by another man, and his wife was played by Indira Varma, who plays Ilaria Sand on Game of Thrones, which I find interesting that they put this guy on there now too. But that's just one interesting tidbit, because that's quite frankly, I don't give a shit about Yezid. Like, I don't know why he's even on the show.
I think he's going to replace Zaro. He's going to have to because they've killed Zaro.
Oh,
Possibly.
So
I'm
Danny's got
not
to
sure
have.
Zara's getting out of that vault.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, what did Zorro even do that was that
He
big in the
he-
book?
made
He talked to Danny and he told her, "You're fucking up." I remember that.
Look, Danny's not got much plot left. They've got to try and
Yeah.
get out for screen time for all the Danny facts.
no, there's no way they're gonna make her look bad by having Yezin replace Zaro.
They're just gonna. What are they gonna do? Just like go all out with the 50 Shades of Dario shit?
No,
Because,
Yeah.
yes, no. Usually
That was
because then
even-
I'm just gonna want to kill
the
myself.
Sons of the Harpy. I bet that's what it's gonna be. Gonna make like a physical villain for her to battle against or some shit.
She's gonna get a sword and like just suddenly be really good at sword fighting.
No,
Nope. She'll send Unsullied after Yezin, who sends Sons of the Harpy after her. Their attempt to spice up her storyline and whitewash her more.
Yeah, definitely.
We got
See,
you,
well,
George.
To be fair on D&D, they have been moving Danny more kind of towards.
Yeah,
the
I
kind of
agree.
rich
I don't think
this
I don't.
season.
I actually don't think Danny was so whitewashed in season 4 after a certain point.
Yeah.
Like in the later episodes, they portrayed her more like she was in the books. Not and if anything, I think season 5 could be the chance to really show the depths of her. Things like the wine seller's daughters and all the things that really make me hate her. So hopefully, or they'll just go back to whitewashing, or I don't know. You never fucking know with D&D. But-
No.
Do you guys think Weiss is gonna get cast as Dario?
Just so he can fuck Danny.
I'm sure he'd like that.
But you guys saw that meme, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's alright.
Why does Weiss always look like a sex offender in every single photo he's in?
Because he is
Why
a
do you
fucking
think
sex
I
offender.
Put him
that's
on
why.
the nerd with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
He just has that
That's
sex
what I
offender
want.
smile.
Who the fuck was Weiss before? Because I know Benny.
Nothing.
I give
No.
Benioff credit for being apparently an okay writer outside of Game of Thrones, and he was
Benioff
somebody
was a
before he
badass.
did it.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
He did X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh well, fuck that movie. But
He
but
did
I
Troy.
heard
I enjoy Troy.
Troy is a enjoyable movie from like a cinematic element, but the writing in it is pretty mediocre. So I'm not
You
surprised.
sack of wine.
Yeah, I'm not surprised Benioff worked on it. But I give Benioff credit for at least like being someone. Who the fuck is Weiss? Like,
He's literally written like one book, or maybe two.
How
No,
to get
so-
out of
He's done a
prison
few
due
scripts.
to being a
They never
pedophile.
came anything out of them.
I really do
Oh, what
think.
did he write a script for? What did he write a script for? I'm gonna look this up.
But if I remember correctly, like I reckon that the reason why he's on this show is because he's probably friends with Benioff, and you know, it's like, this is my mate and we're going to write the show together.
Guys, should we just get back on topic?
No, not quite,
Oh.
because I have just found he was hired to write a script for Ender's Game, but that got canned. He also wrote
Probably
a
'cause his
prequel
script sucked.
Yeah, he wrote a prequel script for I Am Legend. That didn't work. He was
Because it
hired to
sucked.
Yeah. He was hired to rewrite a screenplay for a film adaptation of Halo.
Was that the one that Peter Jackson was supposed to direct?
No, Neil Blomkamp.
Peter Jackson.
Oh, or
Direct
Peter.
Halo.
He produced it. Oh, yeah, he produced it, and Neil Blomkamp directed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Well, the project was dead in late 27.
But then District 9 came out of that partnership.
Yeah,
I remember.
District 9.
Yeah, that
Great,
was
so-
just fuzzy there. That was a good movie, much better than anything that D.B. Weiss could write. So I mean, he earned a Master of Philosophy in Irish Literature from Trinity College Dublin. It's interesting. I'm Irish American. Too bad Weiss sucks, but still.
Anyway, with as regards to Yasm, because before Bartek gets irritable again, it's odd because, well, I think Yasm obviously plays that part in Tyrion's story with him
Eventually,
with him and Jorah being so. I reckon they'll cut Penny, like with him and Jorah being sold to Yasm, but like, how can they have that bit and not have Griff and young Griff?
Yeah, no Connington, no.
I suppose they're gonna do it in the next season. They can't.
Well, no, like
They still have much material in the previous books to cover.
But
how much could they really stretch that as like
Bartek? Because the bit with Yasm is past the bit with Griff and Connington.
Oh,
So-
you know what? Actually, they can't sort of announce Griff because it's too much of an unknown character, and people would be suspicious towards it. It would be they may think it would be spoilering to announce that the character of Griff is going to appear. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't, quite honestly.
Well, no, but like if they announce the character of Griff and young Griff, that's not a spoiler, is it? It's
You know,
like-
there's theories that they're gonna combine Tristan with Griff as well.
how the
How?
fuck would they
Would that
do that? What?
D&D.
Tristan is now Dario. Tristan is Benjen Stark. Tristan is Howland Reed.
Euron is Dario. Get it right.
No,
Benjen.
you're
No,
on.
Euron's the
Benjen,
just
obviously.
I'm just saying, Dario got like the same number of ships that the Iron Fleet had in that one episode, which I really hope that doesn't mean that, but you never know.
What?
But that's like subtlety. This is D&D.
You're right. On second thought, nah, Euron isn't Dario.
Yeah. That's.
But look, anyway, seriously, how the fuck could you combine Tristan and Griff? That doesn't
They
make
have
any
lineage
sense.
problems.
They're combining
Why the
Tristan
fuck
with
would you
everyone.
age Tristan up to have a pedophilic romance?
Wow.
Yep. Totally happening.
Why the fuck would you choose a British band musician who's never acted in his life to play Tristan McNulty?
Calling out this Sansa Stark.
He's plowing.
Yeah, because he's
plowing,
dating
so-
Sophie Turner in real life,
It's not actually
apparently.
confirmed.
He's not. He doesn't even look Dornish, for fuck's sake.
Not confirmed.
No, he's
It's not-
a white British dude. They kept making a big deal out of wanting to put ethnic actors on playing the Dornish people, and they cast this white guy with curly hair as Tristan
confirmed?
Martell.
Is it confirmed?
Think they're
that
gonna start
actually
casting a
dates
One
No, it's not.
Direction
Neither
members or some
confirmed nor
shit.
denied. Sorry, I'm cracking.
They haven't actually confirmed
No.
that he's dating Sansa Stark. Sorry, Sophie Turner.
They're in like a shit ton of pictures together and stuff like that.
Doesn't mean anything.
I
That's
don't care.
you know.
I'm still jealous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if it turns
you're-
out he is, I'm pretty jealous. Okay. Yeah.
She may just be crazy fun on the other side. You know, like Sophie Turner is the sort of a person that fancy him. She's also a Justin Bieber fan, so I won't be surprised.
Is she?
Yeah,
She's
he's
still
her
a Justin
type.
Bieber fan.
That's for sure.
I know she was a Justin Bieber fan. Is she still a Justin Bieber fan?
Yeah, I saw that one video she did where she was running around singing Justin Bieber. So apparently she likes women. So
Am I the only one who wouldn't be surprised to see fucking One Direction or boy band shit members getting cast into Game of Thrones at this point?
Well, Tristan did. No, isn't Tristan a One Direction member?
No.
He looks
He's
like
just he's a One Direction member lookalike. Is what he is.
Yeah,
So close
because
enough. So close
I'm
enough. Yeah.
Trying to look miserable, just like all of them.
Yeah.
Like Kit Harington in season 1.
You know what I think? I think that I posted about this on my page. I think they cast this guy who obviously isn't an actor because, what's her name who played Shay is off the show.
Sybil
And Kit
Kelly.
Harington, and Kit Harington used to suck, but he got a lot better in season 4. So now they need another shitty actor on the show to make Emilia Clarke look better. That's why I think they cast this guy.
Wouldn't it be a lot better to have it in scenes with? Oh well, if he is Quentin, he will be in scenes with Danny.
Oh God.
Oh,
Oh, that's gonna be.
God. We got you
painful.
D&D.
It's like in the bit where in the scene where Danny Bannett is Jorah, it's so uncomfortable because Ian Glenn is acting pretty well, and Emilia Clarke is
Just staring at a wall.
she's just staring at the ceiling while it's doing it.
Do
So-
not presume to touch me again.
It made the scene like so uncomfortable. It's like
She's the fucking worst. Like I see people sometimes saying like, oh, you just don't like her because you don't like the character. No, she can't act. She's horrible.
Well, I've seen even fans of the character from the book actually say that she's. a
Oh
bad
yeah,
actress.
no, there are book Danny fans who hate Emilia Clarke. Definitely. And not to mention when she did that Breakfast at Tiffany's on Broadway, they ripped into her when she did that. All the critics, it was.
Didn't people who went to see it liked her, but actual critics were like, nah, she can't act.
I saw a clip of it, and she tried to do like a fake American accent in it, and it was like the most generic, laughably bad fake American accent I've ever heard.
Like Danzy's English accent.
Oh, really?
Danzy's English accent. Q.
Welcome to Trial by Podcast.
Yeah,
You know what? That was still better than Emilia Clarke's American accent.
That's not really much of a compliment, but thank you.
All right. Yeah, I can't bother talking anymore about Tristan. So,
So
It just turned into like talking about how much Emilia Clarke sucks. I find that.
yeah, we need to.
Maybe it's because I'm here. I don't know.
Yeah, it's no wonder.
Sorry,
Should we-
what's Tim?
Should we do questions now, or should we talk show emissions?
We'll
I'm
talk
down to talk emissions. Definitely.
Yeah, I think commissions, right.
That's
okay,
that's
so
the main. That's what I was looking
notable people who have not been cast: the Greyjoys, Arienne, Quentin, Darkstar. Anyone else?
Young Griff.
Fucking
Griff.
white man.
John Connington and Wyman Manderly. So basically, when you take all those together, every character introduced in the 4th and 5th books you actually gave a shit about has been cast. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well,
I
we
mean,
could
the
say
fact
Dan-
that they're not in the video doesn't mean that they're not going to be cast, but the fact that they're not in the video also doesn't inspire very much confidence.
Well, my view on it is that I think that there's still a chance for, because the production's only going on in Spain right now, they haven't moved it to Belfast yet, that there's still a chance that when they go up to Ireland to film, like, the other stuff, we could eventually get a castings for Greyjoys, for Wyman Manderly, for characters who are located in the places where they'd filmed there. But the Dornish storyline, I'm pretty sure I think there's like a 95% chance there's going to be no Arianne, no Darkstar, no Ares Oakheart, no Quentin.
We don't
Because
need
it's
Ares
like-
Oakheart.
Guys, there are basically 3 possibilities. 1, they are yet to be announced. 2, they are not going to be announced, but they are going to be in the show. And 3, they are going to be there, but in this next season, which is 6.
Yeah, but that's like it's a bit too late to bring them in at that point.
I don't see why they
I mean,
stretch it all the way out to season 6. That doesn't.
with the Greyjoy plan, because they say they're planning to do 7 or 8 seasons. So season 6 would be Like if you consider length of it, like season 6 would probably be into Winds of Winter material. That would be a bit too late to introduce the Greyjoys.
Yeah, way too late.
They wouldn't do that. And I don't see why they aren't introducing like the great. I mean, Victarian's chapters are some of the most exciting ones in Feast for Crows and and a lot of other people's opinions. And that's a character who, like, he's basically like an action star in this fantasy world. You know he's going to have fans if you put him in the show.
And he's a fucking idiot. He's so great. I don't know.
He's so great.
He's such an immoral character.
No, he's hilariously stupid. That's what's so enjoyable about him. And you know, and it's a character who was like, and not only that, but the character was like, I think George R. R. Martin, like, I don't think he really did, but it's almost as if that character was created with Ray Stevenson in mind to play the character, because he'd be so perfect for that. And he's been on HBO before. But that's why I kind of have hope, because you guys remember when season 3 casting was being announced?
No, but yeah.
They did a thing like this where they had a video where they went through like a bunch of, and then later on they announced that Kieran Hines was going to be playing Mance Rayder on its own. It was his own announcement. And Kieran Hines was is a bigger name. He does a lot. He's been in a lot of like bigger movies.
Yeah.
He had a major role on Rome. So that's why I think that there's a chance we'll get Euron and Victarion, but they'll be like, it'll be like Ray Stevenson as Victarion or somebody else like that as Victarion. And then, like people have talked about Mads Mikkelsen for Euron. I don't know if that's that likely because he's doing Hannibal right now, but Dominic West, I think, could be a good Euron, and I don't think he's doing anything else right now. James Purefoy, you never know. Like, I think that they could get, or Brendan Gleeson for Wine and Manderly, I think is another. I think there's a chance we could get some big names for characters like that.
Well, like the thing is, they have like 6 or 7 characters. Well, wait, what? Manderly, Quentin, Aryo. Yeah, seven major characters that we've talked about, and they haven't put them in the casting video. There are 7 major ones. It doesn't like kind of.
Yeah, at least some of them have to be cut. But what I'm saying is, I think the ones who have been cut definitely. And as much as I disagree with it, are the Dornish characters, Arianne, Quentin, and Darkstar are the ones we definitely won't be getting, I don't think. Because they're filming in Spain, and they listed all these other Dornish characters. But when they move to production of Belfast, there will still be hope that some of these other characters who aren't Dorne might have a chance. That's what I think.
God.
What?
But that means we're not going to get whipping in the face. We're not going to get Quentin whipping a dragon in the face, which is quite possibly the funniest moment in the entire series.
When he just realizes that he's on fire.
It's just like he's whipping. It's like, oh, my arm's on fire.
Well, we aren't.
Oh, my body's on fire.
Well, we aren't getting the funniest moments in the series because Darkstar is not going to be on. That's a bunch of great moments off right there. That pisses me off so much.
And we don't know if they're going to have a fake Arya, Jane Poole, which is kind of integral for Theon's arc.
They had Jane Poole in season 1.
Yeah, but she was an extra. She had no lines. She hasn't appeared since.
I think that they're just going to... Knowing what they've done with Ramsay, they'll probably just have him marry that fucking girlfriend who he has on the show, which makes me want to kill myself just thinking about. But
like she's just like at least 10 years older than Maisie.
Oh, it makes absolutely no sense, but they'll do it anyway because they're D&D.
Oh fuck.
To be fair, Jane is like 3 or 4 years older. I mean, it's not 10 years.
No, she's the same age as Sansa, so that makes her 2 years older than Arya.
Oh right, okay, that's a big.
Yeah, it wouldn't make her look. Yeah, but I mean. I don't even know because I hate Show Ramsay so fucking much that it's gonna suck in either way. But
and Theon's arc is one of the best parts of Dance of Dragons.
Yeah, which is why it's gonna suck so bad because they've ruined that character completely. Not that he was ever a likable character, but they made him annoying on the show.
Yeah,
where in the books he was like at
you
least
are
fun
real.
to hate.
Ramsay's actor, I think, does a good job of like capturing the essence of kind of who Ramsay is.
He looks
it's
crazy.
just the,
yeah, he looks really.
Yeah.
He's
crazy.
not a bad actor, and some people don't like his look, but I think his look's fine. I just think that the writing for Ramsay is awful. I don't blame the actor at all. I blame the writing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You can say that for a lot of characters, though. Like,
there's
so many
really
actors that are just perfect, but then the writers don't really give them anything to work with.
I mean, Stephen Delane until recently was Stannis, ruined. Nikolai Coster-Waldau, Jaime Lannister in season 4 was written terribly, so he couldn't shine the way he used to. You know, they do it. It happens all the time. They can't write. That's the real problem.
Well, in episode 4, Oathbreaker, which was written by Brian Cogman, like Jamie had a very good scene. The scene with Brienne was very good, but
Yeah, because D&D didn't write that.
it was written by Brian
good.
Cogman.
Yeah, that's the thing. That Cogman should just write everything. I think. I don't think D&D should write shit.
Yeah, they should just fire all the writers, just fire all the fucking directors, and fire all the mod writers, and just have Cogman doing all the shit.
All the
There's
writing.
nothing wrong with the directors apart from Alex Graves.
I say most of the directors I think are pretty good. It's just the problem is the writing.
There's nothing wrong with Alex Graves' direct. Well, apart from the fact, you know, like,
Alex Graves. I think Alex Graves is a fucking idiot, and that Game of Thrones is only a job for him. But I don't think he's a bad director from a technical perspective.
Well, he's a bad director if he thinks that like what he filmed was a consensual sex scene, but we won't go into that because that's ad nauseum now. You know?
Well, everybody that was a particularly bad. But for the most, he directed one of the only episodes of season 3 I liked. The fifth, Pissed by Fire. So I gotta give him credit for that.
That was written by Cogman.
That was a Cogman written one, so that was why it was good.
Yeah.
But
Anything directed by Neil Marshall is generally pretty good.
yeah, Neil Marshall hasn't failed yet. I really like Watchers on the Wall. What were you guys' opinions of? Because that's a controversial one for some.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought it was
I
good.
think most of the people who hated it were like show fans who were like, "Where's Khaleesi?
Where's Tyrion?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think those are the people who hated that because
The issue is like the Wall storyline have been given the shaft for the past 2 seasons, so it's like it's about fucking time. Like, you know.
oh, if there's a few things that season 4 did better. I will admit, and one of them was that they put more emphasis on the Wall. I was happy about that. I hope that keeps up. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, even episode 9, like for show fans, I mean, you had Jon rolling out of a lift, and then slaying 3 wildlings with.
And then that great cinematic shot.
And then
60.
Even if you're the most horribly ignorant show fan, you have to appreciate.
There's some badass action in that.
Yeah, that was
I don't see why. Yeah,
but there was a bit of I think
and like
artistic
drop the
license.
scythe and all that. Like that was badass.
Drop the scythe, boys. Have you seen the blooper where he's like, ready, draw,
not straw,
lose? It's like he throws his arm out and his cloak just hits him in the face. It's brilliant.
And you know, as much as it killed me to see a character who's still alive in the books die, I thought that Gren's final scene was one of the best scenes in the fucking show.
Yeah.
Like that brought a tear to my eye, man. That was great. That was an example. There's a show change I didn't mind right there. That was okay.
But Donald Noy.
Yeah, no Donald Noy. If Donald Noy was there, he wouldn't have had to have suffered that.
Yeah, I mean,
but no, they had to give Tyrion more time in the spotlight because he's Tyrion. So fuck this one-armed bastard. That's what they were thinking.
I don't know. Tyrion wasn't even really in much of the first half of season 4.
No, I think what Matt meant was in.
I'm talking about how they replaced Donald Noy's whole thing.
I see. Back in season 1, yeah. No, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway, like about Waters on the Wall, yeah, it was a great episode. But like, apart from the ending, which was anticlimactic, and like looking at the time it took for the scene, like the beginning of the next episode where he treats a manse and Stannis showed up, they had time for that. They had time to put that on the end.
Yeah, that could have been a more appropriate or fuller. But I didn't mind it the way it was. It was definitely one of the better episodes of the show.
Yeah.
No question about that. Especially in the past 2 seasons where there have been so many bad episodes. That was a nice little highlight.
But anyway, should we go back on topic now? Or?
Yeah.
I think have we kind of Griff? We need to talk about Griff. And that's about it.
Are they going to omit Griffin?
Questions from fans, and we also have the Griffs.
I think they are going to cut out Griff, or maybe they won't. I don't know, but I think they will, because if they put another Targaryen in there, D&D are probably afraid people are going to like the other Targaryen better than Dany. So,
Oh god.
Like,
Yeah.
well, then what the fuck is Varys's plot gonna be?
That's the thing. It's so stupid to cut them, because that gives so much meat to Tyrion's storyline in there. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with Tyrion for an entire season without having him meet up with Connington and young Griff, but I don't even know what the hell to think anymore. I'm just so fuck everything. Like,
It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, you can tell already that there's gonna be a lot of changes.
As far as with Manderly, I said this earlier on admins, but yeah, like my perfect casting for Manderly is Richard Griffiths, who is dead. It's just fucking annoying.
Brendan Gleeson, man. Brendan Gleeson would be a great Manderly.
Yeah, but he will. But Richard Griffiths. If I could resurrect him to play Manderly, I would.
That wouldn't be a bad choice either. He physically fits it more than Gleeson does. Gleeson's not quite fat enough.
Well,
I just think he's got the badassery.
Seeing Richard Griffiths' acting and the kind of calmness and like the way he relays words, it does actually fit Manderly. I can actually hear him saying the words, "The North remembers, Lord Dallas, and mayhaps this is a blessing. Had he lived, he would have grown up to be a Frey." I can hear him speaking those lines.
I mean, if they cut Manderly, I'll be really pissed, because that's a character you can't cut Wyman Manderly.
If they cut Manderly, I will fly to the US and burn their set.
Yeah, the North remembers monologue is one of the best.
Yeah, no, I will be right there with you if that happens, because you can't cut Manderly, and you can't cut Euron and Victarion, as far as I'm concerned. Then I would have said you can't cut Arianne either, but looks like they're doing that. So
you can't cut Griff when John can't. No, sorry, Griff and young Griff. But although I'm kind of glad that they have, if they have cut Griff, that they've done so, because knowing their attitude to non-heterosexual characters.
Oh, they would have turned Connington into
a paedophile.
They'd probably make him rape Aegon or some shit like that.
Yeah, they probably would. Hey, you know what actor I think would be good for Connington is Kevin McKidd. I think he'd be a great John Connington.
I don't know who he is.
Look him up; you'll know his face. He was on Rome also. He played Lucius Vorenus.
Yeah, I do recognize him.
I think he'd be a great John Connington. And
he was in Dog Soldiers. That's why I recognize him.
Yeah, he Dog Soldiers along with Liam Cunningham.
Yeah,
but I'm kind of I spend way too much time on IMDb, if you guys haven't figured out already.
Yeah,
but
watch too many films and spend too much time on IMDb.
Yeah, no, I'm one of those guys who could probably do really well in 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but not. Yeah, you're right though. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, Connington. D&D would probably turn Connington into having some pedophile thing with Aegon, and because they just do that type of shit. So maybe it is a blessing. Mayhaps it was a blessing.
Well, he would have
grown up to be a paedophile.
Yeah.
Should we do questions from fans?
Yeah, I think we do questions now.
Okay.
We've kind of dried up on this cutting thing.
It's just depressing to talk about, quite frankly.
Okay. I'll read out the names as well. First question I have is from Rule Urbina. How big is Tormund, Giant Spain's member?
Bigger than the wall.
Bigger than the size of the universe.
Realistically,
we are actually all in.
Maybe it's so big we all live inside it.
Yeah, exactly.
Realistically,
it is the universe.
Yeah. Realistically, I'd say about 16 inches, though.
That's boring. No, it's big that we all live inside it.
How was he supposed to batter down the wall with that?
Yeah. Matt, come on.
It's got to be at least 3 or 4 meters so we can use it as a helicopter.
There's no such thing as German's horn. It's actually Tormund's member. They just call it German's horn to make it
What did you say? There's no such thing as German porn. It's just.
Germs.
No, the Horn of Joramun.
Oh, I thought you said
I heard
German porn.
Joramun is actually.
I definitely heard German porn in there too.
I did.
I didn't, but okay.
The
I was
Horn
like,
of
well,
Joramun
don't
is-
tell Sibel Kikeli because I mean, I might have to go back to doing that now.
I hope she goes back to doing that. She's better at that than she is at acting on Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen her.
I haven't seen it either,
Rufus
but
work.
like I haven't seen it either, but that's the thing. I know she's better at it because nothing can be worse than her on Game of Thrones.
Mind you, I don't know. Saying that you're the worst actor on Game of Thrones isn't, it still means that you're probably okay. Like,
Unless you're Emilia Clarke.
Sibel Kikeli isn't. It's kind of a bad. Like, she made the trial scene kind of awkward. Like, and well, it was Peter Dinklage he was the kind of defining part of that, but she made it kind of awkward. The thing.
anyways, next
Yeah,
question.
Anyway.
if Dinklage's performance there wasn't so strong, yeah.
Next question from Dax D. Cleesby. What do you think is going to happen with Oran Waters?
I think he's cut.
Oh. Yeah. In the show, you think?
I'm not. I don't think he's referring to the show. I think he's referring to what's going to happen with him in the books.
Oh, like where did he go with the ships?
To join someone and turn his cloak, probably.
Yeah.
Didn't they suggest he became like a pirate king or something like that in one of the sample chapters?
I don't know.
He just
it
went
was an
rogue and took all
Ariane's-
the ships.
It was an Ariane's chapter, I think. They said he just went out and became a pirate king. I had a suspicion that he might have joined up with Aegon because the Waters are like, he's a bastard of the House Valyrian, and that's a Valyrian house. They're probably loyal to the Targaryens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, according
So-
to Valina Toland, a new pirate king has set up on Torturer's Deep, styling himself the Lord of Waters. With 3 decked warships, the description matches that of the new ships for King Tommen's fleet at the time they were made.
Ooh. There you
So
go.
yeah, he's a pirate king. My hearties, he's gonna go in.
Okay. So have we exhausted that one?
Yeah, I think we've exhausted the idea that
Yeah.
Orion Waters is now a
He's a
pirate.
pirate.
Yahar.
Great. We need some more pirates. Next one.
Oh, look,
I
we
have
can-
some questions,
What?
if you don't mind.
You have questions?
Yes, as usual.
Okay, what are your questions? Go.
Would boning zombified Catelyn Stark Stoneheart be considered sex or necrophilia?
Wait, what did you say?
Would boning
I only
Stoneheart-
got
Would having sex with Lady Stoneheart count as sex or necrophilia? Both.
Well, necrophilia is a form of sex, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's
That's why I
kind
think
of the question.
Ah, dumb.
you're stupid. You're
Damn it,
sh-
Varsek. You've got dumb questions, alright? I'm blaming you for this.
Shall I ask another one?
Yeah, we have 2 more, don't we?
I've got 2 more. So Ollie Cooper asks, which character is the most forgivable for their actions and why?
Forgivable.
Yep.
I would say Bran warging into summer and eating dead bodies beyond the wall. Because he's just a kid and he just wanted to... I think he didn't know how to deal with the situation.
I thought you were going to say Bran walking into Hodor. Is that... Among wargs and with the wildlings, that's seen as kind of an abomination thing to do. It's like really
Wow.
frowned upon.
Yeah.
Like walking into humans.
But I mean, I forgive him for that too, really, because... I mean, there's a couple times that he had
It was
to,
just a
right?
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say Darkstar cutting off Myrcella's ear because he's Darkstar. That's why it's forgivable.
See, I always felt really
Uh,
bad for poor Tommen and Myrcella. Like,
They get
it's
shafted
not...
a lot.
Yeah.
It's very controversial because there's a character that kind of divides the fandom, but I forgive Catelyn for her actions because she was doing it out of love for her children.
Yeah, actually, that's a good one.
I was never on the whole Catelyn hate train myself, so I can get behind that. Definitely.
I
I
used
just-
to, but after reading the books, I kind of saw her in a different light that this woman was doing like these things, mistakes and stuff, like for the love of her children. So,
Yeah, she's
I
doing the
forgive
best
her
her
that.
she's doing the best she can in the situation that she's in for her kids. Yeah.
I didn't dislike her. Just found her pretty boring. About the for giving thing, I'd personally say either Eddard Stark, and saying that he's a traitor to admitting that he's a traitor although it was a lie to protect his family, or Sansa sheltering Joffrey.
Yeah, Sansa's
Yeah, she's forgivable.
Yeah.
She was an idiot, but
Any of the kids that have made mistakes, it's kind of like, oh, well, they were just young, so.
They're just kids.
I forgive Ramsay because he was beaten and his father was so horrible to him. So I think Ramsay is most forgivable.
Oh God, no.
I don't
fuck.
think that's really an excuse to like torture people.
I
Just because you have daddy issues.
I forgive.
Or have human hunts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The most
forgive Gregor because he
it
has
is because it is just the way he is, and we have to accept it. We have to treat him like all the others. He's not any worse than us.
Actually,
I
in all
You're right.
seriousness, I know there was a Dark Star confession, but a serious confession I have. I think that Jaime was completely in the right to break his oath and kill the Mad King. Because seriously, that crazy motherfucker needed to be put down.
Yeah.
He was about to kill an entire. He was about to burn down an entire city and kill millions of innocent people. And that alone, is enough for me to like completely want nothing to do with House Targaryen ever being on the Iron Throne. The fact that they were taken off the throne for that, and I think Jaime was completely in the right for what he did in that situation, no matter how much it makes him dishonorable in the eyes of some.
Jaime is my favorite character in the series, and I've always said like the kind of point of Jaime is that because there's this conflict between what's honorable and what's moral, and with Jaime it shows that the honorable thing is not always the moral thing, and vice versa.
And I think it's interesting that you see Barristan think about that a lot in his point of view, and I've always liked the idea that at some point Dany might go full Ares, and Barristan might be faced with the same question that Jaime was.
And he'll understand the choice that Jaime had to make.
Yeah, I think that would be a great way to end Dany potentially,
And then
and Barristan. I don't know, but we'll see what Martin has in store, I guess.
Yeah.
The last question I have is quite like he's got like 4 different theories on question like speculations, so we'll save that for another video.
Okay.
There's too much to discuss there.
I'm interested now. You got me curious.
Well, the question is, what are your speculations on Hardhome, Skagos, Rickon and Osher, the giants at Eastwatch by the Sea, and Tormund Giantsbane's Wildling host?
On second thought, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, well,
Watch my hard home video. Do it now. I have
How
a
to
big.
say that? We'll link to that.
Yeah, we'll link it. Maybe
That'll save us having to talk about hard home because that's kind of a big theory.
Who else has got questions?
Questions. I'll take those.
Yeah, I do, but I just lost them, and I'll have to find them.
God's sake, I will look and film a Kraken for you. Alright? And then
Should we do the quiz?
No, we're going to do questions, and then we'll do the
There will
quiz.
now be a short intermission.
We already have quite a few questions. Don't you?
Where you haven't got a post. Where is it? There is no post.
No, I have still
There will
questions.
now be a medium-sized intermission.
Right. Okay. Bartek, do the quiz.
Yeah, okay, so who's doing the quiz?
Shall I read out
Yeah,
questions?
Tim, read out the questions.
Okay, have you sent the questions? Where the fuck are they?
Well,
I'll send them to you.
These are the questions. Oh,
Fine, Phil, you read them out.
Okay, I'll read them out. Where is it? It's supposed to
Oh wait, I have to get a stopwatch quick. No.
There will now be a long intermission.
Oh,
No. Wait,
Hang on. Bartek, Bartek, can you record the answers?
Wait. Oh my god. Where is the thing?
Welcome to
Okay,
Trial by
so-
Podcast, where we're extremely organized.
So right now you will be asked 10 questions about this song, Ice and Fire. The difficulty will vary, and you will be marked on them, and also on how quick you answer them. However, it's better to answer the questions well rather than quick. So for example, if you answer 9 questions in 2 minutes, it's going to be better than answering 8 questions in a minute. And yeah, there's also a leaderboard. So Kraken is first with 8 questions in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Then we've got the Lannister with 7.5 in 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and then Dick Pollard is third with 6.5 points in 1 minute and 25 seconds. What place do you think you will take, Matt? Will you take, Matt?
What place do I think I'll take? To be honest, it's been a while since I last reread the book, so I think my knowledge is a little rusty, but I don't know, I might surprise myself. Maybe I'll do good. We'll see.
I'll take you to record whether it's right or not, because I don't have answers here, and I don't know some of these questions.
Perhaps the second place? Do you
Second,
think?
I think that's reasonable. Reasonable.
So we're going for the second place. Well then, Philip, begin.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
What are the names of at least 2 characters with their own viewpoints in Game of Thrones? A Game of Thrones. The books. The first book.
Of at least 2 characters with their own viewpoints?
Yes.
not
Ned
Starks.
Stark.
They are not Starks. Not Starks.
Okay. Tyrion Lannister. And... Shit. This should be easy. Tyrion Lannister. I know it! Come on, give me a minute here. God damn it. What
It's
the
half a
fuck?
minute. Okay, we're skipping it. Second question.
Okay. From what part of Westeros does House Westerling come from?
Oh, that's the Westerlands.
What is the sigil of House Blackfire, including the colors?
3-headed dragon, black dragon on a red field.
What were Oberyn Martell's last words?
Say her name.
Where is Aryo Hotah from?
Norvos.
What are the names of at least 2 Westerlings?
Shit. Reynold and Jane.
Give the names of at least 2 people that accompanied Arianne to crown Myrcella.
Gerald Dane, Dark Star, and Silva Santagar.
What is the seat of House Sunderland called?
Okay, that one I have no fucking idea.
Which free city is well known for making great quality glass?
Is that Pentos?
Give the names of at least 3 gods that knights have to swear their knightly oaths to.
The warrior, the father, and the stranger? No, not stranger. The mother.
Okay, that's it done. Last text on the clock.
And okay, fair enough. You have answered. You got 6.5 points. You have answered 3 questions wrong, and for the last question I gave you half a point because you got 3 gods right, and the stranger is wrong. It is mother, father, warrior, and someone else that you got right. Yes, Smith.
Smith.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Your first question, though, I'm sorry. Can I just put at least 2 characters with their own viewpoints in the game?
Yes,
there are only 2 non-Starks, and they're Tyrion and Dany. And how you didn't get that?
Well, I didn't get it because it was fucking Annie. That's why. That makes sense. That's why I brain farted. There we go. Oh, yeah.
But those questions were like much more difficult than the ones before.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, that one. I felt it was like Tyrion. No, not Stark. Tyrion and the one I don't give a shit about. Danny. Oh, that makes sense.
Westlands is right. So, Oberyn Martell's last words were they? Yeah, I think they were saying it.
Yeah, it was right. Then
They were.
Aryo-
I thought I might have been wrong with that one. That one was. I thought that was a. So
I would have just
okay.
quoted the whole speech, and I had to answer it.
Yeah.
Names of these 2 Westlings. I don't know. You got. I think you.
you got it right. You got
Yeah,
it right.
I
2
said
people.
Reynold and Jane. Just yeah.
Right. two people that come. Is Santigar? Was he legit?
Yeah, Celtigar and Darkstar, that was right. Sunderland, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one I had no clue. Yeah.
The free city is Volantis.
Oh, okay.
Jon Snow mentioned it quite a lot because he wanted Volantis to make those glass things for them to grow vegetables in.
Ah, okay. I see.
And then the free gods. Wait, you did say free gods. You did get free gods right, but you said the names of four gods, didn't you?
Because I said one, I said scratch that. It was wrong. I said the stranger, and I realized just after I said it that wasn't right.
Okay,
So.
you got two gods right. That's good enough. Okay, so you got 6 points. You got 6.5 points in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Which puts you last.
Aren't I tied with the other guy in last?
The other guy got 6.5 in 1 minute and 25 seconds. However, your questions were pretty hard, so I'm going to put a H next to your name in the brackets to underline it was hard.
It's fine.
So,
I understand. Like I said, I am a little rusty, admittedly. So
Those are difficult as hell questions. Like there's quite a few I didn't know.
the first one got me because because it was like Tyrion and the character who I fucking hate the most. Jesus. You guys know I hate those. It's just like
you could say Catelyn because Catelyn's technically not a Stark.
no, you have a point there.
You could say John, who's also technically not a Stark, and you could say the guy from the first chapter.
Well.
Oh fucking what was his name?
Well.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. You're right. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Ghostbusters.
What?
What?
That's who you're gonna call.
Who are you gonna call? That's Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but
What are you gonna do?
when
Ghostbusters.
That has a totally different connotation.
It does.
Yeah.
Right. So moving on from questions, is that everything?
I think so.
Right.
Are we going to wrap up, or do you want to talk about
I
anything
think
else?
we've got. Okay, this should.
It says in here season 5 things you want.
Yeah, things we want for season 5.
I'll tell you what I want in season 5. I want Euron, Victarion, Arianne, Darkstar, Wyman Manderly, Connington, all the characters they didn't cast. That's what I want out of season 5.
I want John Steens.
I want
John Stannis is going to be. The funny thing
yeah.
is, I remember when I first started talking a lot about how I had lost interest or had become frustrated with the show. It was mostly because of how they were portraying Stannis. Now Stannis is one of the few things I'm actually kind of optimistic about. It's weird how the tables turned like that.
Yeah, Jamie became the new Stannis.
Yeah, Jamie's the new Stannis, and now Benioff and Weiss are running around acting like they never hated Stannis, saying there's going to be a lot of Stannis in season 5, and like it's weird. Like it's almost as if they just gave him like.
I think what?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I think with that when they asked at Comic-Con, because like of course the guy was a Stannis fan because he said Stannis the Manus. They couldn't really come out and say Stannis is a shit character, could they? They kind of had to
Not
be
with
positive.
George sitting about 3 seats down. No, they couldn't.
Even in the behind inside the episode thing for episode 10, they were actually like not talking shit about Stannis, and it was because usually in those things they rip into him, and that was a little odd.
Yeah, that's weird. There's they were inconsistent as hell because in the first one where they talk about Stannis in the episode 2 inside, or I call the inside the episode the post episode circle jerk, to be honest, but they said Stannis had gone full Melisandre, and it was like, what?
Yeah, no, because that wasn't even consistent with what they appeared to be conveying in that episode. Like, it was. I think that they are just, first of all, really stupid, and second of all, really bad at keeping their characterizations. Like, they get mixed messages and don't know how to figure out which one is right or something like that. I don't know. It's frustrating. But Oh, thanks for the little heart down there.
But yeah, with Jon and Stannis, I'm really looking forward to, especially the like fetch me a block scene. And that they have to have the Stannis prove.
That's gonna be great.
It's gonna be like.
I wonder if they're gonna change it to like, "Yo, Ed, help me cut this guy's head off," because they seem to always do that to iconic lines.
No, please, no. God, no, please.
Yeah, because they'd probably think show fans wouldn't understand what a block means.
He'll be like, "Hey Ed, your sister," and then he'll bring him a block.
I mean, you gotta give Benioff and Weiss one thing: they do know their audience.
Do they?
No, they don't.
They treat their audience like idiots.
I mean, they know that most of their audience are idiots. So I mean,
I'm not sure if they know or they just treat like.
Give me a piece of food.
It's a case of self-fulfilling prophecy, I think. They assume that everyone watches it as an idiot and needs to be guided through it, so all the show fandom has descended into that. If you want to look at an example, they don't do that, look at Breaking Bad. They never, in any episode, they never pandered to the idiots. And as a result, the Breaking Bad fandom is actually pretty good. Not that I've extensively researched it, but...
I'm currently about halfway into the 4th season of Breaking Bad, so I'm really liking it. I just don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But it's great fun. That's a great show, though. Yeah. And Vince Gilligan is another person who I think, like, if they put him in charge of Game of Thrones, it would have been 10 times better than it is with D&D. But what are you gonna do?
The only thing I'd perhaps be wary of with him is obviously Breaking Bad was an original creation, whereas I'm not sure how he'd work with having this kind of tight structure of the books. Like, because obviously that stems a certain amount of creative kind of potential, because you have to follow the set path.
Guys, it's recording.
Yeah, we're still recording. This is completely off topic, but
yes, I'm just listening and I'm thinking. I'm not actually taking part in the conversation right now. I'm chatting to my friend on Facebook. But why are they talking about Breaking Bad? If we can't be still recording Breaking Bad, it's so far off topic. And so I decided to ask.
We're relating.
We were relating it. It was related, Bartek, so stop complaining.
Making comparisons is not going off topic.
But we'll stop talking about Breaking Bad now, because I don't want to talk about much more of Breaking Bad anyway, because I'm still watching it. So,
yeah. I want to Breaking Bad. Spoiler it to me.
We still got to talk about Jane Westling. As confirmed.
I'm not sure exactly. For one thing, I will say I hope that the point of view in the prologue is not Blackfish, because I don't want Blackfish to die.
No, please don't look at Blackfish. She's like the only cool character left. It's not true. That's not true. I said that wasn't true right after I said it, Tim. It was said for exaggeration, okay?
Tormund.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
No, but the point is Blackfish shouldn't die because he's badass. So, I mean...
Isn't that fan
I've heard rumors that Jane Westerling might be pregnant. Cause that's a theory that's been around for a while. So I guess we'll get the truth of that. Do I have a strong opinion on that? Not particularly, but we'll see where that goes when the book comes out, I guess.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, it'd be a bit weird just to have her as a point of view character. Unless
and then kill her off. It's kind of...
Yeah, I mean, unless she was unless this whole idea of a second purple wedding is very much instantly done.
Second red wedding.
Second red wedding is instantly done, and the Jane who everyone thought wasn't really Jane because the description was a bit weird.
I heard that was just a kind of mistake on Martin's part.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been.
She's just a point of view for that. She's just a point of view for this new red wedding.
Well, if she's a point of view, usually the point of view characters in the prologues and epilogues die. Which is why
die. They always die.
Yeah.
Well, Chet didn't actually die in his prologue. He died later, a bit later, but he didn't die in the prologue.
But that's just why I don't want Blackfish to be the point of view. because if Blackfish dies, I'm going to be angry.
I made a joke about if it was Jane Westerling's point of view that her POV would just be like, "Dear Diary, I've made a terrible mistake."
Jane Westling's importance to the story is that she's been banged Robb Stark.
Yeah. You never know, maybe she'll die giving birth. Mm. Although I don't think she's pregnant. They made a big deal of talking about how she was not getting pregnant in one of the other books, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening either.
Unless she and Edmure were getting busy because they got lonely together at Casterly Rock.
Edmure loves his Rosalind, though. I don't know about that. Like, I think he's very happy with it.
Yeah.
Then again, Edmure can't keep it in his pants, so I mean,
Yeah.
there's also that to consider.
Oh,
I love Edmure too, by the way. If something happens to him, I'll be really angry.
I love Edmure. He's just such a lovable fuck up.
Edmure is like the end. You know,
Yeah.
Edmure is like the Andrew WK of Westeros.
Yeah.
Like that's what he is. Like he just likes to party.
Yeah.
That's all.
He's a dumbass, but you love him all the same.
Yeah.
Edmure's got good intentions. I mean, he did even though it was a bad tactic, he did let in all the small folk into Riverrun.
Yeah.
He does seem to genuinely care for his people.
Yeah, no, he was a good guy.
As regards to the whole stone mill thing, I think that's a case of 6 of one, half dozen the other. I blame both Robb and Edmure for that because I think Robb gave him very vague instructions. He just basically said hold Riverrun, and
And in the scene on the show where Robb is pestering Edmure about that, I just thought they made Robb look like a massive dick. Honestly, even though they were trying to make Edmure look stupid, Robb just came off as a complete snoot. Robb in general just seemed like a dick on the show, to me anyway. I don't know about you guys.
I think more entitled than he is in the book.
Yeah.
In the book, he doesn't have very much confidence. Like, he's very much a 15-year-old, whereas in the show, he really exudes confidence.
I mean,
he exudes confidence in it also, but not in a way that makes him look like a complete asshole.
Sometimes,
it's right.
Yeah.
That's the great one. I think one of his best scenes, although it was one of his worst decisions ever, was the bit where he's standing them all on trial for killing Martin Lannister.
Yeah,
that scene was well really done. Good.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like about the show with Robb is that they had him being a complete dick to Catelyn, towards the end of season 2 and beginning of season 3, because she freed Jaime Lannister, because they made the diversion from the books where both her and Robb don't know that Bran and Rickon are dead. It made his actions in having sex with Jane Westerling and her actions in freeing Jaime Lannister a lot more understandable when they know that Bran and Rickon are dead, but here they didn't. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, he just did it for the and show Robb just sucked. There's nothing else to say about it. But that's over now, I guess.
Yep.
It's not the case of being played well, but
yeah, Richard Madden's an okay actor. It's just the writing for his character was horrible.
Yeah.
But you can say that for a lot of people, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the third time we said that about somebody. Yeah.
All right, I think that about covers everything we want to talk about this week. So, everyone's going to say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Tell your friends, get hype.
Subscribe
Bye,
and like the
everybody.
videos. It helps a lot. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what my fans think about this.
Bye.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.